It's Sunday evening. Maybe 6 o'clock, maybe a little later. The light coming through the window has gone soft and gray and a little gold at the edges. The day is winding down. You did the things. Maybe you rested. Maybe you ran errands. Maybe you did nothing at all. And right about now, without any warning, something in your chest starts to tighten. A quiet, sinking weight. Like a door somewhere far off is slowly swinging shut. You're not in danger. Nothing bad is happening. Tomorrow is just Monday. So why does it suddenly feel like something is coming for you? You know this feeling. The Sunday heaviness. The way a perfectly fine day starts to curdle around the edges as the evening goes on. The light changes, and your mood changes with it. You still have hours of weekend left, real hours, and you find you can't enjoy them because some part of you has already quietly packed its bags and gone ahead to the week. Standing at the edge of Monday. Bracing. The first thing I want you to know is that it is not just you. There's even a name for it now. The Sunday Scaries. And almost everyone feels some version of it. The teacher feels it. The surgeon feels it. The kid who hates their weekend shift feels it. It's so common we've turned it into a meme, a little joke we post on Sunday night so we don't have to sit in it alone. But when you actually are sitting in it, alone, at the end of a quiet Sunday, it doesn't feel like a joke. It feels like dread with nothing attached to it. A fear with no face. And here is where it gets stranger than you'd think. That dread is not really about Monday. Not the emails. Not the meetings. Not the alarm you're about to set. Those are just the costume it puts on so it has something to point at. What's actually happening underneath is much older than your job and much quieter, and it is not a flaw in you. It's a feature. So before we go any further, let me take something off your shoulders, because I think I know what you've been telling yourself. You've been thinking you're ungrateful, that you have a decent enough life, a job that pays the bills, a roof, food, people, and that you should be able to enjoy a Sunday evening without quietly falling apart over a week that isn't even that hard. You've been thinking that other people handle this fine, so the problem must be you. Let me stop you right there. This is not you being weak, and it is not you being dramatic. This is your nervous system doing precisely the job it was designed to do. The only problem is that it was designed a very, very long time ago for a world that no longer exists. So let me introduce you to the part of your brain that's behind all of this. It is old, older than language, older than money, older than the very idea of a week. Its entire job, its only job, is to keep you alive by watching the horizon for the next hard thing. Picture your ancestors, thousands of years ago, gathered around a fire as the light goes down. They are warm, they are fed, they are safe, for now. But this watchman in the back of the mind never fully relaxes, because it knows that rest always ends. That tomorrow there is the hunt, the cold, the long walk, the danger. And it learned a trick that kept those people alive. Before the hard thing arrives, start the engine early. Tense the body. Sharpen the mind. Whatever you do, don't get caught soft. That same watchman is still sitting in the back of your skull tonight. And here's the catch. It cannot tell the difference between a hungry winter and a Monday morning stand-up meeting. It doesn't understand calendars. It just knows the pattern, the oldest pattern there is. Rest is ending. Demand is coming. So as the Sunday light fades and your body senses the weekend slipping away, that ancient watchman quietly reaches up and flips a switch. Stress hormones begin to trickle in. Your heart rate creeps up by a few beats. Your thoughts start, unprompted, to rehearse tomorrow. And you, sitting there on your couch with a blanket and a half-watched show, just feel a heaviness you can't name, because the alarm is ringing in a language far older than thought. But it gets sharper than that, because the dread feeds on something specific. Contrast. The Sunday Scaries are at their absolute worst precisely because the weekend was a relief. Think about it for a second. You can only fall from a height if you first climbed up to one. For 2 days, you got to set your own pace. You slept when your body wanted to. You were a person, not a function, not a role, not a job title. And Sunday evening is the exact moment your brain looks at the clock and realizes that the freedom is on a timer, and the timer is almost done. The higher the weekend lifted you, the further the fall feels. Which leads to something I really want you to hear. The people who feel the Sunday dread the hardest are very often the people who needed the weekend the most. Let that land. It is not the lazy who dread Monday the most. It's the depleted. The ones who spend all week running on fumes, just barely making it to Friday, for whom those 2 days off weren't a luxury at all, but a lifeline thrown to someone going under. If Sunday night hits you like a truck, it might not mean something is wrong with you. It might mean you've been carrying more all week than you've let yourself admit. So picture it now, this exact moment, the one you know so well. There you are on the couch. The TV is on, but you're not really watching it. Your phone is in your hand, but you're not really reading it. You're scrolling without seeing, half hoping something on the screen will distract you from the feeling, and nothing does. The weekend is leaking away minute by minute, and you are spending its last precious drops feeling the weight of a week that hasn't even started yet. And that brings us to the cruelest trick of all, the time travel. Here's the thing about the Monday you're dreading. It isn't real. The actual Monday, when it finally comes, is almost always fine. You get up, you make the coffee, you answer the first email, you do the first task, and somewhere around 10 in the morning you suddenly realize the monster never showed up. The dread was never about the real Monday. It was about an imagined one. Your brain took a perfectly ordinary week, built a haunted house out of it, and then made you stand outside in the cold all Sunday night, listening for footsteps. You suffered the entire thing in advance, for free, and you didn't even get the relief of it being true. There's one more piece, and it's a modern one. Your ancestors at least got a real rest. You might not, because so many of our weekends now get chopped into confetti. An hour of errands, a pile of laundry, 3 hours lost to the phone, a little work guilt humming in the background the whole time. You arrive at Sunday evening having technically had 2 days off, but without ever really having unclenched. So when the ancient watchman flips the switch, he's flipping it on a body that's already running on empty. No wonder it lands so hard. You're being asked to brace for a hard week before you ever got to recover from the last one. And if you're young or early in a career, this can hit even harder and confuse you even more. Because maybe the job isn't even bad. Maybe nothing is technically wrong. And so on top of the dread, you get a second layer, a quiet guilt that whispers, "What is even your problem? You have it good. Why can't you just be happy?" And now you're not only dreading Monday, you're ashamed of dreading it. And the two feelings braid together into something heavy and hard to untangle on a couch at 8 at night. So that's the trap, laid out plain. You lose the weekend twice. Once to the errands and the scrolling and the never quite resting. And then a second time, on Sunday night, to the dread of a Monday that turns out fine anyway. It would be easy to leave it there, in the dark. But I don't think that's the real truth of it. So here, gently, is the turn. That heaviness you feel on a Sunday night. I don't think it's a malfunction at all. I think it's grief. Small, ordinary, human grief. You are mourning the ending of your own time. And here's the quiet, beautiful thing about that. You can only grieve the loss of something you valued. The dread is proof that your rest meant something to you. That the version of you who exists outside of work, the one who sleeps in and moves slowly and belongs to no one, is real and precious and worth protecting. Someone who felt absolutely nothing on a Sunday night would not be healthier than you. They would just be someone who had quietly given up expecting their days to belong to them. Your Sunday sadness is the sound of a part of you that still wants more. More space, more slowness, more of a life that's actually yours. That is not a sign that something is broken in you. That might be the single healthiest thing about you, still flickering, still refusing to go quiet. The watchman thinks he's warning you about Monday. But what he's actually telling you, in the only language he has, is that you love your freedom and you are not getting nearly enough of it. And that, it turns out, is worth listening to, just not at full volume, and not as a threat. So next Sunday, when the light goes gray and your chest starts to tighten, I want you to try to hear it a little differently. It is not a warning that you're about to be hurt. It's an old, loyal alarm that loves you a little too much, ringing for a winter that is not coming. You can put a hand on your own chest, and you can tell it, gently, that you are safe. That the hard thing it's bracing for is just a Tuesday, and you've survived every single one of those so far. And then you can let the last few hours of the weekend actually be yours, instead of handing them over to a Monday that doesn't even exist yet. The week will come either way. It always does. And it is almost never the monster your Sunday brain builds out of the dark. But the quiet you have right now, this one slow gray evening, the blanket, the lamp, the soft light going down, that part is real. Don't let the ghost of tomorrow walk in and steal the only peace you've got tonight. If this felt like I was describing your exact Sunday, then you are not alone in it, not even a little. We make these for nights like this. For the people who feel a bit too much at the end of a quiet day. So stay a while. Breathe. The week can wait one more hour. The lights are on.